So today we're going to be looking at two-time NCAA champion and world bronze medalist Zahid Valencia in his knee drop series. Funny enough, he graduated from Arizona State University just like Mikhail McGee. Mikhail McGee is the wrestler who I did the original knee drop series on about a little over a year ago. It did 900,000 views. So if you're watching this video, I'm sure you already seen that video as well. So we're going to be looking at a few key differences between their two knee drop series and a few similarities as well. The thing I like about Zahid is that he utilizes a few principles that I've covered on this channel before, but those videos kind of went under the radar, so it gives me an opportunity to go back to those principles and touch on them again. So let's get right into it. So when Mikhail McGee did his knee drop, he just dropped to both knees, right? Or one knee, but he just dropped to it. And this is important to point out. So Zahid can do this as well. He can just drop and go right to an attack. So against Trent Hotley, he drops down to both knees. He's going to end up attacking with a ankle pick, and he gets the takedown. This is important because of what I'm going to bring up later in the video. So he just drops to both knees. Obviously, Trent knows, okay, maybe he's planning to attack, and he's still able to get to his legs. One more time, he drops to both knees, lower than his opponent, and then he goes in on a double leg. This is important because most of the time, Zahid Valencia does not do this. Most of the time, he hides his level change. What do I mean by hiding a level change? There's a few things you can do to hide a level change. You can level change off your opponent's fake. You can level change off your opponent's snap down. However, that depends. Both of those things, you're depending on your opponent having a certain offensive, not reaction, but you're dependent on your opponent doing a certain thing in order to do that. A way that you can hide your level change is by hiding it behind a failed shot attempt. The reason I put a fail in air quotes is because the original intent of the shot wasn't to actually score. The original intent was to maybe get them out of position or to level change, stay down on the mat. They're expecting you to rise back up, and then you use the fact that you're already lower than your opponent in order to score. Let's look at a few examples of what I'm talking about. So here you have Jordan Burroughs. He's going to sweep single right into a blast double. Next you have Leo DeLuca. So he attacks the ankle and then goes right into a double leg. This is unexpected because he attacks the ankle. He wasn't going to get that. His opponent stands back up, expecting him to stand back up as well, and he goes in for the double. Magomedov threatens the ankle. Opponent stands back up. He just stays low and then attacks with the double leg. This is how Zahid Valencia sets up most of his reshots. This is how Zahid Valencia drops down to his knees. The clips we saw at the beginning with Mikhail McGee just dropping down to his knees, he typically does not do that. Typically, he drops down to both knees by threatening the leg in some way, shape, or form. This is very important because it changes how his opponent looks at his level change. So he's going to threaten the ankle. He wasn't going to score when that opponent stands in front of him. Now look at this. I'm going to play it one more time. You look at this. He's standing right in front of his opponent. If Zahid Valencia would have just dropped down to both knees, he would have had a different reaction to this. But he felt comfortable putting his leg back right there because he already felt the shot. He already felt the shot. So he's probably going to stand back up and we're going to go back to hand fighting or whatever. That's not what Zahid did, though. He then went in on the low single, cut to the double. This is why reshots work so well. Same thing here. Threatens the ankle, then goes to an ankle pick. So he was never going to actually reach the leg with that attack. That was not the point. But now he's on both knees. His opponent stands back up to his stance, right? And then he just goes for the ankle pick. And standing back up to your stance isn't necessarily the wrong thing to do, as you're about to see. This time he threatens the ankle again. The opponent stays down, but then he just ankle picks the other ankle. So steps the leg back. This time he doesn't just stand back up, but his other leg is up, and that happens. Now the remedy is not by standing on both knees neither, because that sets you up for a double leg. If you watch my perfect the shot reshot with the double leg video, you can see what I'm talking about there. Here, similar, he's going to fake towards the ankle or fake towards the leg. He's already lower than his opponent, and then he's just going to hit some type of blast double, even though he didn't clear the head. So reaches towards that leg. Now he's lower. The opponent is probably expecting him to stand back up, and then he just attacks the legs. Here, basic. That initial shot gets him out of position, and as he's building back up, he just attacks the legs. And the reason this matters, I'm going to go on a rant about why this works so well. When you failed a level change, right? When you failed a shot and you're on the mat, you're in the same exact position that you would be if you simply only level change. However, if you level change, when you level change, let's say both of you guys are in the stands, right? And you level change. As soon as you level change, that guy's defensive antenna is going to go off, right? He's going to go, okay, he level changed for a reason. And that reason must be he's planning to attack soon, right? However, if you're only on the mat because you just failed a shot, they look at it differently. And that split second of reaction time that they're not going to have when you shoot is what allows you to get in on the legs much easier. Now, when you're on the mat, they're not looking at it as, okay, he's lower than me. He must be about to attack, because they're thinking the reason he's lower than me is because he already attacked, right? And shot reshots, even away from a knee drop series, shot reshots work so well, because if you guys have ever played like a fighting game and you use a special move and you have to wait time for that special move to build back up, that's how most wrestlers treat shooting, right? Most wrestlers, they'll just shoot one time and then they get back up to their feet, they hand fight some more, they dance around a little bit, and then they wait to shoot again. As a defensive guy, you know that. You know that's typically what people do. So after he fell a shot, you're thinking he's going to, all right, he just felt the shot. My defense was good stance, good motion. He's going to stand back up. We're going to do this again. But shot reshots completely disrupt that whole rhythm. It disrupts that entire expectation. Right here, we're looking at an overtie slide by as well. So he's going to fake towards the leg. Ethan Ramos is going to keep that collar tie, and he's sitting on his knee. That's a bad combination. We know from Mikhail McGee series that Mikhail McGee can also do the overtie slide by from his knee drop series as well. So if you're going to be using this, learn the overtie slide by. And we also know that if you're sitting on the knee with a collar tie, you're going to get hit with an overtie slide by or some variation of a slide by. You're leaving yourself completely open if you're sitting on that knee with a collar tie. I've done multiple videos on that. Next, we're going to look at how, once he's already on the mat, Zahid Valencia hides his penetration step as well. And all this hiding is very important because his opponent doesn't know exactly what's going on. So their reaction time, he has an extra half a second to get in on their legs. How does he hide his penetration step? He hides it because he makes it seem like he's standing back up. And this only works because of the way he's ending up on the mat, right? So let's look at Jordan Burroughs versus Servet Sidikov really quickly. So Jordan Burroughs is going to hit a little sweep single. It wasn't really meant to hit the sweep single, then go right into a double leg. Why did this work? Okay, well, it got Sidikov out of position. So Sidikov is on his knee now. Jordan Burroughs isn't going to take a penetration step. He doesn't have to because it's easier to blast through Sidikov because Sidikov is not in a good stance. And they're not super close, but Jordan Burroughs is more explosive than the average wrestler. So most of you guys won't be able to do this. You will need to take an extra penetration step, most likely, which is why you need to know how to hide it. And Servet Sidikov is out of position. So he's able to look at his feet. He doesn't take a penetration step. He just explodes from there. In the next clip against Hayden Hightley, he's not able to do this. So he takes a little sweet feint. He steps back up. Now, how did he step back up? He stepped up with his penetration leg, his shooting leg, his right leg. This matters because he stands right back up to his feet. He does it again. However, Hayden Hightley is in a good position. He's in a good defensive stance, good square stance. If Jordan Burroughs tried to just explode towards him and blast through him, it would not work at all, right? So what does Burroughs need to do? He needs to take a penetration step to develop more power in his shot. This works well, however, because his penetration step looked exactly like it did when he stepped back up. So Hayden Hightley was probably thinking, oh, he's just stepping back up to his stance because he just failed another shot. That's not what he was doing, however. So look at what Zahid does. He looks like he's stepping back up when he steps up with that leg, and then he shoots in for the double, right? And it's only an extra split second of reaction time, but that matters when you're talking about high level wrestling, right? So let's slow it down. Looks like he's stepping back up, and he just used it as a penetration step. Next clip, same thing against Colin Moore. He looks like he's stepping back up. He's really selling the fact that, okay, let me just go ahead and get back up to my stance. Let me go ahead and get back up to my stance. But that's not what he's doing. So he's on both knees. He's going to step back up and use it as a penetration step. And he's able to finish the leg attack. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please give a watch to my Perfect the Shot Reshot, because this is really what he uses for most of his knee drop series. The shot reshot, also the overtie slide by. For more of these tips about double legs and leg attack, look at my double leg series video. I know a lot of people associate the double leg with a very elementary move. They think it's really based on athleticism, and maybe you play football or something, you're just explosive. But the double leg is very, very technical. There's plenty of things you can do when it comes to shot reshots, ways to set it up. You can set it up with a double, a sweep single, an ankle pick, a high crotch. Also ways that you can hide your penetration step. Also second moves off the double leg, like going up to the body, going to the seatbelt. Multiple things I touched on in that video. It's only in that course. It's me myself showing the moves as well. It's me myself showing the moves as well. So it's an instructional, and I also have YouTube videos listed and unlisted attached to the course as well. It's less than half the price of a regular one-day camp, and you get a lifetime access. I regularly update the course, so I won't come up with a 2.0 version of the course. If there's anything else I see that I want to add, I simply add it to the course. So it's lifetime access, and I hope you guys give it a look. So thank you, and see you in the next video.